Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. I guess you're wondering what I'm doing using my exercise stick that you can find at naturalgalantbodybuilding.com. Send $69.95 and you can have mountainous biceps too. Mountain.
Train the muscles, not the joints.
Welcome back to Natural Galant Bodybuilding, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about three ways to access your bicep brachii or increase the belly of the muscle, which will therefore increase your mountainous, peaky bicep type thingy. Now, this video is spurred from one of the Patreon supporters, so thanks a lot for that. And he asked me, Jason, do you access the bicep brachii more so just in the partial range of motion during the arm curl? So say you're doing standing arm curls. What he's asking is if only the top portion really accesses that bicep brachii. And in my experience, for the most part, the top 2/3 of the motion really accesses the bicep brachii, and when you straighten the arms at the bottom or get closer to straighten the arms, that's when the brachialis or the forearm muscle starts to get accessed. How much you bend or how much you straighten the arm will be different for each person. And to top it off, if you have some sort of shoulder instability going on, say you had a labral tear or a dislocation or a rotator cuff tear, if you have any of these things going on, that could also accentuate your need to use a partial range of motion in order to access that brachii during a standing dumbbell or barbell curl, right? So this is why you always have to pay attention to the here and now and find out what is going on with your body and what is necessary. So you have to follow that feeling. And if you're feeling, as you lower that weight, you're feeling that the brachii is disengaging and that your forearms start to engage instead, or maybe your shoulders, like your shoulders are getting a burn because the delt is trying to stabilize or whatever. If this is happening, then you need to adjust your form. And sometimes you will find that by using a partial range, like I've talked about before, you will be able to hyper-stimulate a certain area, such as the bicep brachii. And this is really what I found. So I use a combination of full range and partial range, but for the most part lately, I've been getting some great results from using 2/3 of the range of motion on the bicep curl, and then I'll finish it off with some full reps at the end once I feel like my brachii has hit failure, right? So it's like a pre-exhaustion method and then taking it deeper into failure. You know, I think this is gonna sound weird, but sometimes it feels like the trees are watching me as I'm filming these videos. I don't know why I have that feeling. And here I thought at least the trees would be anti-maskers. Snowflakes. Even nature has fallen for this crap. Now, another way to access the bicep brachii, biggity biceps, is to stretch the muscle belly, the brachii muscle belly itself. And one of the ways to do this, which is extremely effective, is to have the elbows come back. Now, this is really accomplished well with two major exercises or two main exercises, and that is the incline dumbbell curl and during cable pulley curls, where you use two individual handles and step away from the rack, right? So you step forward and then you'll have each pulley attached to the ground pulley on the machine, and then step forward, and therefore the tension is moving back away from the body and forcing a stretch on the bicep brachii. Now, what I really recommend here is keeping the arms slightly bent to keep that tension on the bicep brachii the entire time, then curl the elbows and straighten them just short of lockout. So you don't want to lock the arms out. You want to keep that tension on the bicep brachii. Same thing with the dumbbell curls on the incline. Now, the other thing you don't necessarily need to do is to bring the elbows forward, so that way you're bringing the dumbbells right up. You don't need to bring the dumbbells up to your forehead or anything. Just focus on curling the weight. Just focus on keeping the elbows back and curling the weight. Therefore, you're keeping that tension and stretch on there. Now, if you want to use a variation by bringing the elbows forward and, getting that extra squeeze, maybe bringing in some delts and whatever, that's fine. But what I have found is that it's not always necessary. And especially when you're using heavier weights, I find it easier on the bicep tendons if you keep that elbow back and just curl the weight, lifting it and then lowering it, lifting it, then lowering it. Biggity biceps. Now, the third way to access this bicep brachii, which I find is rarely used, and I have talked about it before, is slightly externally rotating the arms. Just rotate them just a little bit out. So if you're doing an incline curl when you're doing dumbbells, or if you're even doing a standing dumbbell curl, just rotate the arms out just slightly, lift the chest, and then curl that way. And you'll notice that you will hit the bicep brachii much more effectively. And for each person, again, it's going to be different as far as how much external rotation they should use, but just a little bit is a lot of times enough to take that forearm out of the movement and to access that mountainous part of the bicep. So yeah, remember to switch up the rep ranges. Remember to use lighter weights, medium weights, and once in a while some heavy weights. And as long as you're doing this, you're going to notice massive gains from making sure that you're focusing the tension on this area. Mountain. So I hope this helps out in your training. Thanks a lot for watching. May you have biggity biceps. And if you need to get help me, just go to naturalbodybuilding.com, and thanks to the patient supporters, and take care for now. Mountain. Mountain.